Miracles come while we in the fight. Don't give up and hold him tight. You will have a visible battle scar, but never forget who you are and fight, fight, fight.
Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. Why did I create Embracing the Fight? Well, think about it like this. When you have an issue, do you readily go to talk to people to tell them about it? Especially people who've never been through what you've been through, or they're those folks that have nothing but roses and millions of dollars and all the great things that happen to them, and you're sitting in your little dark corner and you're wondering why all these things are happening to me, but you don't have anyone to share this with. So when I created Embracing the Fight, I had those people in mind. I want to give you hope. I want you to understand that just because you have a physical or mental illness or concern, that does not define you. You are who God says you are, not what a disease, an illness, sickness, or concern may label you as. You are healed. You are whole. You have to believe this first and foremost, because I believe this. I know I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. I know my thyroid has been totally removed. And on February the 8th, I go back to the doctor and they'll talk about potential treatment. Now, I can have no treatment at all. They can say, everything's gone, everything's great, go on, live your life. Or I can have radioactive iodine because I've had a couple of little cells to get away in my body that need to be eradicated. Or I could end up having to have chemo. Whatever it is, I believe that I am healed. And I speak positively because I want you to know that you are healed too. Words have power. Speak life. Okay, so today's show, what I really want to talk to you about is a little bit of frustration that I have. So if you all have been following me with my journey, you'll understand that it took 3 times before I actually had my surgery on the 3rd try. So in doing that, there are certain things that you have to do for your employer to make sure that you stay employed if you want to stay employed with that company. And if you want to actually get the benefits that are afforded you for working for this company. So let me help you understand something. You have to go in and you have to apply for FMLA, and that is the Family Medical Leave Act. A major misconception that people have about FMLA is that it pays you. FMLA does not pay you. What it does is it basically holds you a position within the company that you're working. For instance, if you're a VP, or let's just say you're the president of the company and you have some type of illness that has caused you to be out for, say, 3 years. If you file for FMLA, it'll hold your position or a position for you within that company for 3 years. However, how do you expect the company to function 3 years without its president? So in the interim, there'll be someone that's holding this position. Well, imagine that this person does an excellent job. Say they do an excellent job, right? They do. I mean, they blow their doors off. Well, when they do that, the company then has to decide, well, when they come back off of FMLA, do we put them back into the position they were in and move this person over? Or do we give them a comparable position so that they're still employed, they're still making a whole lot of money, and we're doing what's best for the company? Now, it might not seem right. It might not seem like the thing to do when a person's out sick, but sometimes business is just business. And all of this should be explained to you when you speak with HR. All right, on the flip side of that, you have to have short-term disability or long-term disability benefits in order to get paid. So companies do it, various ways. So the way my company actually works, they use an outside company that handles that. There's a claim manager that I have to work through in order to get these benefits. So I went into that company's website. I completed the documentation for both FMLA and short-term disability because I expected to be out for a minimum of 2 weeks. And that was from the date of surgery to recovery. Recovery to the point where I could actually drive, lift more than 5 pounds, and perform my normal work duties without any restrictions. Okay, so I filled out all the paperwork in September. Storm came, no surgery, so I had to let HR know it's not going forward this day. They've changed the date. The date is actually on November the 8th. However, my case is a little bit different from most people. So on November the 8th, if you recall in the previous episodes, I explained to you that I couldn't have the surgery because I had a blood clot that was located on my brain. So I notified HR and my manager at the time. I explained to them what I had going on. They told me that I was under FMLA to go ahead, and take that time off to get all the other tests done that I explained to them that the doctor had ordered for me. And that was a fine needle aspiration biopsy, a CAT scan, as well as a visit to the hematologist. So I got all those things done between the 8th and the 18th. And they told me, don't return to work. All right. I was released to return to work from the doctor on the 21st. Okay. I submitted all that information to the company that was handling my claim. Guess what? My claim was denied. So it didn't make any sense to me because I had a diagnosis that showed that I had a blood clot on my brain. Now I have a diagnosis that I have thyroid cancer. And then I have another diagnosis that shows that I had factor V Leiden that puts me in a different category considering that I have this blood clot on my brain. So all these things are getting taken care of, but my claim was denied. So that means I'm not getting paid. That's 2 weeks. I basically didn't get a check. All right, fast forward. I actually have the surgery on December the 21st, okay? Once I have the surgery, I made sure prior to going to surgery that I completed all my documentation with the claim manager. And I made sure that the doctor's office, all the information was in there for the claim manager to send the forms that are required in order to prove that I actually had a claim. All right. Fast forward. Got a call a couple of days ago. I actually returned to work on January the 16th. So between December the 21st and January the 16th, I did not work. So got a call from the claim manager, and he's telling me that they never received any documents from my doctor's office. But he did not say that my claim had been denied. So when I looked into it, I sent a message to the doctor's office, and they said, hey, we never received any paperwork from your claim manager. All right. So now I'm just, a bit frustrated because okay, one's saying this, another one's saying this. And I look to see if I've been paid, and I have not been paid for those 3 weeks. So this is a total now of 5 weeks that I haven't been paid. So imagine bills are still coming in. I'm getting a new bill every day from X-ray, radiology, MRI, MRV, all the different lab tests, the surgery, everything. All this stuff is coming together. And I still got to pay household bills. And if y'all know, it's just me. So I'm paying for all these things and doing all this stuff. And it's so easy for a claim manager just to say denied and not, really push for anything. Well, can you blame them? I'm an advocate for myself. They're not necessarily an advocate for me. They do the best with what they have based off of what I gave them and what the doctor actually gave them. So what I have to do now is resubmit the claim. Because once the claim has been denied, you have to submit it all over again. You have to get all the same information that you submitted the first time. But this time, what's different is I'll actually take the forms myself and deliver them to the doctor via email and fax. So I went in to see which form I was missing. And when I actually read what they said, what the claim manager had written in there, I didn't see a form like that anywhere on their website. So what I did was I called and I left a message to find out, hey, can you give me a call back so we can talk about which form it is that they're missing, and if there's a way that I can get it, or can you send it over? I need to work something out with them because, like I said, 5 weeks is a long time to not get paid. Now, it's not that I don't have a way or means to get, money to take care of my bills, but who wants to go into their savings, or who wants to break, their investments in order to take care of things that should be taken care of because it's a part of a system that was designed to help you when you're out sick. So that's why I'm feeling the level of frustration that I feel. So I don't want you to feel that frustration, because I believe when you get frustrated that it hinders your healing process. But I had to sit down. I had to think about it. I said, you know what? If I didn't go through this, I couldn't offer any advice to help you. So I'm taking this on so you don't have to. All right, so this is what you do. When you learn from your doctor what the actual date is where you'll begin your leave, you take that date, you enter that information into your claim manager's website. Or you talk to HR and find out, hey, do I do everything through you? Because some companies, the HR departments take care of all of that. They don't have like websites and like faceless or automated systems that take care of everything for you away from the company. They actually have nice, warm people that'll sit down and talk with you and answer all of your questions. So find out what your system is. Find out, does HR do this, or do I have to talk to a claim manager with another company? All right. So when you talk to them, make sure you explain your situation to them, and then ask them which forms you need to complete. Write those form names down, and then ask them to direct you to where they are on the website. Because, websites can say documents, forms, and you can click all you want. But if you're clicking in the wrong place, it doesn't help you any, right? And all you've done is waste time and become more frustrated. So you have the time that you're starting. So say it's surgery. You have the date of surgery. Then you talk with your doctor and find out, okay, how long will I be out? An estimated time. And you put on there what it is. And you also include what your diagnosis is and any other questions that they may have. Those forms usually take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. Once you have completed that form, make sure you submit it. Submit it before you have to go to the doctor. Because then what happens is that claim or benefits manager reaches out to your company, sends the information, says, hey, you got this claim coming. This person expected to be out from here to here. That way the business can make sure that they can keep moving forward, without your presence. But then you'll still have a spot when you return because you've done your FMLA paperwork properly. And now you're at the point where you've completed your disability, where it's short term or long term, and you're going to get paid. So as long as your forms and your documents are in and in good order, you shouldn't have any issues. Now, if they call you and ask you for additional information, call back. Call back quickly, because the quicker you give them the information, the faster you get your benefits. See, me, I just imagine that, okay, everybody's going to do what they were supposed to do. I didn't call, I didn't check behind them, and that's not like me, because I like for things to be right. I like for things to be in order. So I tend to ask a lot of questions, and I tend to follow up. Not micromanage, but follow up. And in this instance, I didn't follow up as quickly as I should have. So now I'll be going through this process again to complete for the November 2 weeks and the December to January 3 weeks. So that's 5 weeks again. I said that I didn't get paid because all my information wasn't in. So there's something that they call an acknowledgement that you have to sign to say that it's okay for the claims or benefits manager to get information from your doctor's office. If you don't provide that information, they can't send the form over that you need the doctor to have in order for them to fill it out so you can obtain the benefits. So everything will get denied then, and you might not get your FMLA. You may end up losing your job while you're out sick. Now, we definitely don't want that to happen. That's why it's very important to complete all the paperwork, dot your I's, cross your T's before you're out and incapacitated, right? Right. All right, so then the other side of this, when I talk about not having any income for 5 weeks, and I was saying that, you know, I had savings and I've gone into some investments to take care of some things. Well, imagine if you didn't have that. What if you had something like a secondary form of insurance, like a supplemental insurance? Supplemental insurance would pay you. You should also look to see what your credit cards and credit unions, what they have in the background, because I was actually surprised. I had one credit union that I'll say about 15, 16 years ago, when I was having another medical issue. I reached out to them and told them, you know, what I had going on. Well, they said, we have a benefit, you know, for our members that we'll pay, you know, your balance up to a certain percentage from the time that you were diagnosed to this time. And they wiped out my entire bill. So you just have to know to ask these type questions. So you can ask them, you can say, hey, you know, say if you have a loan and that loan is through a credit union, you can say to this credit union, if you're a member, is there a benefit when I have medical leave, disability, be it short-term or long-term, that will take care of this particular bill? You never know. They may say yes. Also, when you have a way to save money, a way to look to the future, to be a good steward over your money, hey, 5 weeks is probably nothing to you. But at the same time, when you take away from your savings or you take away from your investments, you're losing out on the interest that you could be gaining. And that's the part that's a little bit frustrating as well. It's like, I have to do this, but then at the same time, I know when I get paid, I'll stick it back in there, but I will miss the interest that I could have gotten. But at the same time, I could be in a predicament where I'm saying, I just don't have it. And at the same time, I wouldn't be able to get my medication. I wouldn't be able to get any further tests. I wouldn't be able to go back to the doctor because all this stuff costs money. And you hear people say all the time, your health is wealth. It's true. If you don't take care of yourself, you have other illnesses and things that can befall you just because of bad health. And that's going to chip away at your savings. It's going to chip away at everything that you've worked hard for to earn. So take care of yourself. Now, of course, there are going to be some illnesses that regardless of what you do, it's going to, take a toll on you. But in that case, look into long-term care. There's ways to put money away for that, especially if you have aging parents or sick children. There are non-ambulatory services that you can look into that'll help save you money. So if your insurance provides a way for you to use non-ambulatory services, like for instance, if you have a parent that is suffering from, say, dementia, and you want to break away and work or just go get groceries or do something that you can't necessarily do because you need to be at home all the time helping this parent, this long-term care benefit, maybe in your insurance, it says, okay, we'll provide you with an in-home care nurse that will take care of your parent while you need to do these different things. You just have to go in and fill out the paperwork. So that's something that I need for you all to do as soon as possible. Look at your insurance. See what your benefits are. Understand them. If you don't, ask questions. It's your insurance. You absolutely need to know what benefits you have. Because think about it, you've been paying into it. And when you need it, you need to get something out of it, right? You don't want to spend even more money and then find out later on, look, I had this benefit over here. I could have used this or I could have done that. And you didn't because you didn't know. So take the time to get your information out, read it, understand it, ask questions, because insurance is ever changing. Every year your company looks to change the insurance. I don't know if it's for them to save money or for us to save money, but they do it every year because you go through a process where you have to go and get all these different tests. You have to tell whether or not you're a tobacco smoker, if you drink alcohol, if you're overweight, all these different things, and it affects your premium. So look at it like this. If your premium is going up and you're not using the benefit in any way, how is that helping you? So you really need to understand what is inside of your insurance, because that saves you money as well. So in order to be a well-rounded, healthy individual, I think you need to do a couple of things. Exercise, eat right, but also exercise your mind. Read, understand more, ask questions. Don't be afraid, because this is the only life that you have. You live it each day. But how are you living it? Are you living in prosperity? Or are you wondering, how am I going to get to the next day or to the next step? Think about it. There are people out there that become millionaires within 6 months. And it was all because of a belief. It had absolutely nothing to do with something that just, dropped into their spirit and, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be a millionaire. Nope. Had nothing to do with it. But think about it. You can do the very same thing. You can become a millionaire. You just have to put in the work. You have to find whatever it is that you love and do it. And like I said, I started embracing the fight because I really wanted to give you hope. I wanted you to see me go through this process. I want you to hear my voice. I want you to hear my heart. I want you to see what it's like for me, just so that you know you can get through this physically, mentally, and financially. I'm Erica Lamar, and I thank you so much for tuning in to Embracing the Fight. Have a great day.